The Ravens. Drew, always your favorite team. Lamar, looking great. Co-favorites to win the AFC. This is justified in your mind, correct?
Look, I think the Chiefs, have earned kind of the right to be the favorite in the AFC. But I wonder, and you know Vegas much better than me, Nick, are they looking at it like they're not getting to the Super Bowl 4 straight years? Like, you know what I mean? It's only happened once, and it was the Bills, and they lost every year. Now, the Chiefs losing last year probably actually may help their chances of getting back for a 4th Super Bowl. But I think they rightfully can be the favorites. But if you want to say, okay, they're not getting there 4 times, it's somebody else. They got the Bills and the Ravens tied, right? Co-favorites. I'm with that. I would go with the Ravens over the Bills. Obviously, they lost to them last year in the playoffs. But I just look, the defense improved as the year went on. I would think it's going to be better this year. Obviously, offensively, you've got all the positions covered. I love the Ravens' chances this year.
I love the Ravens' chances to be the 1 seed, maybe. I love the Ravens' chances to be all the analytics crowd favorite team. I love the Ravens' chances to have an amazing regular season. Lamar's been there a long time. And this is not just about Lamar, by the way. They have beaten in the playoffs the Titans quarterbacked by Ryan Tannehill, the Texans quarterbacked by rookie C.J. Stroud, and the Steelers quarterbacked by Russell Wilson. They have lost in the playoffs to the Titans quarterbacked by Ryan Tannehill, and Phillip Rivers, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen twice, and Patrick Mahomes. I need to see the Baltimore Ravens one time beat a team in their weight class in the playoffs before I think they're going to beat 2 or 3 of them in the playoffs. They obviously have the talent. I don't necessarily love their head coach at this point. But I do like their head coach. And Lamar did get some of the monkeys off his back last year, so I respect all that. But it's a pretty decent sample of whenever it's a fair fight in the playoffs, they come out on the short end of it.
All right, let's check out.
Yeah. It is interesting because the Ravens, they've all done their part in coming up short over these years. The coaching, the roster, Lamar, they've all had their share. Like that's why you can't just say, oh, well, so-and-so has never been able to beat this or so-and-so was able to do that. Like for the Ravens, it has been collectively, they've come up short at various moments. Like that's the thing. It's not just, this constant per se. It's changed game to game, year to year. To me, it does feel like the Ravens are in a great spot. I do believe that Lamar Jackson has continued to grow and evolve and become a better quarterback. I do have questions about the coaching staff. I've said that consistently over especially these last couple of years. I still struggle so much with some of the decisions in the AFC Championship game in 23 and then even against the Buffalo Bills in 24. I still struggle with that, with a handful of how those games unfolded, what the plan of attack was, etc. I always take issue, and this is something that I always bring up a lot whenever we're talking about like odds and predictions. It's like, because I think Brew even said, oh, Nick, Vegas better than I do. And it's like, they're probably thinking that no team has been to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row, or only one team, whatever. And it's like, no, Vegas understands that what happened in the past is not a predictor of the future. Vegas strategically, this is my example that I always put out, how if you go to a casino and you have a roulette wheel, they strategically show you the past like 25 spins. So it's like red, red, black, black, red, 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 because people then be like, wow, there was 5 reds in a row. That means the chances of it being 6 are is unlikely, or the opposite. Oh, it keeps going red. Like, let's try that. And it's like, when you look at statistics, it actually does not matter. If you're flipping a coin, when you're looking at something in infinity and you're flipping a coin, you get 100 tails in a row. the 101, flip of the coin, those 100 before has nothing to do with anything. It does not change the way to predict this. Now, in sports, it's not 100% that, because of course there's going to be some past, analysis leading to what you're predicting, because you know who Lamar is, what has his team done before, has it gotten better, this or that. So it's not 100% black and white in this perspective, but just being like, well, the Chiefs have gone to all these Super Bowls, the chances of that happening again, like, that's not how it works. It's, hey, this team was really good, this team was really good, this team was okay, and kind of putting it all together. And again, it's 350 to 370. I've already talked about how that's essentially nothing, quite frankly. But yeah, man, I mean, do the Baltimore Ravens deserve to be AFC co-favorites? Like, yeah. I mean, they're all right there. It's these three teams consistently, year after year after year. It's these three teams. Like, that's how this has worked. And I do believe that Lamar Jackson, based on his own evolution as a quarterback, as a football player, I do believe he will be better in the playoffs as the years go on. And so this coming year, I do think he will be better this year compared to last year. If not, then there is absolutely, undeniably a real conversation to be had about him coming up smaller in the playoffs, of him actually not playing good enough. Again, I've defended some of his moments. I defended the 2023 AFC Championship game. I've defended the divisional round against the Buffalo Bills. Like, I defend that, and unless we're really trying to zoom in, I really don't care what happened much before that, because it's like, you're younger, you're this, you're that, your first couple playoff games, whatever. I'm just a lot more forgiving about that. But the reality is the Ravens have had awesome teams over the years. I mean, I've done this now with a handful of teams recently. It's like, when you really look at all the Pro Bowlers and all pros that some of these teams have had, specifically the Baltimore Ravens now, like, it's through the roof. Consistently top in the league with just great teams. And when you come up short in the playoffs, you're just like, what is happening? And I've said this about the Bills, and I've said this about the Ravens, where it's just like, if you don't come away this year being clearly better and clearly winning and getting to the Super Bowl, winning that Super Bowl, it's just like, just fire everyone, man. I mean, it's just like, it's just, especially if you lose to the Chiefs again or the Bengals. It's like, I would almost be more forgiving if the Bills and the Ravens face each other in the conference championship game. And if neither coach doesn't drop the ball, and it's just like, it just is what it is. And I would say, yeah, it's hard to win Super Bowls. It's hard to get to Super Bowls. It's hard to win playoff games. I'd be more forgiving. But it's just like, again, it's like, if you lose to the Chiefs again, if you lose to the Bills, and it's not because of any just masterclass. Like, you lost to the Bills last year, and it wasn't a masterclass by Buffalo. It just wasn't. It was not a masterclass. You're more just like, well, that's just Josh Allen. What are you going to do? And you weren't like, that's Sean McDermott, man. He had Lamar Jackson just confused from the jump. Like, you don't come away with that. You just don't. You're not like, oh, Brady, the plays that he was dialing up for Josh Allen was unbelievable. And you still lost the game. So it just, yeah. I feel that this defense is going to be better than they were last year and a lot more consistent. I feel this offense is going to continue to evolve and improve. They need to be healthy. I think obviously not having Zay Flowers was a huge detriment. It's hard to beat the best teams when you're not full strength. I think that's totally fair. Can you come away with wins against lesser teams? For sure. But you can't just say that it's easy to beat great teams even if you're banged up, because you're just like, well, then if that's the case, then those players don't matter then. Then it doesn't matter if you have an A.J. Brown, a Zay Flowers, a Tyreek Hill, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, so then why pay them any money then? So it's just like, we do know that has to have some sort of an impact, as much as people want to downplay that. But it's just like, yeah, the excuses do start to run out. You do start to be like, what are we doing here? Are you going to have a career like Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers? Just any of these guys that have, really been there Or is it going to be Dak Prescott? Is it going to be some of these other regular season teams, right? You know, well, they won 12 games 3 years in a row, and it's like, that's awesome. And then what happened? And it's just like, there's just so much at stake here for the Baltimore Ravens and for Lamar Jackson. There's so much at stake here. And yeah. You got to just ask yourself, why are things going to be different? Why is it going to be different? And you kind of have to just wait and see, unfortunately. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Baltimore Ravens? Do you think they deserve to be AFC co-favorites? Do you think they've done enough to be able to take that step forward, take that leap? It's not even a leap. It really is just like, by definition, a step. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.